Hi all, welcome to the channel or welcome back to the channel, and today I have a new crafting tutorial for you guys, and we're going the Age of Sigma route with these Azurite ruins. Now they can perfectly be used for 40k as well because they kind of match the overall look of things. But yeah, these are very easy to make, not expensive at all, and I'm gonna show you how I did it. So follow me to the crafting table and let's do this. Come on! Okay, so 5mm thick foam board cut to 6.5 centimeters in height. Now we're gonna mark out 11 centimeters on this entire strip, or as many as you will need. It's best to sketch out how many walls you'll need. Now one of these pieces is one wall panel, so it depends on how big you want your ruin to be. Now next we're gonna mark out 1.5 centimeters at the top and draw a line. Mark out 1.5 centimeters from right to left, draw a line, then mark 3.5 centimeters, draw another line, mark 1 centimeter from here, then again 3.5 centimeters, and then again at the end 1.5 centimeters. And it should look like this. And remember, 1.5 centimeters at the top, not 2 centimeters, alright? Now we're going to do this for all our walls. Alright, now begin to cut a lot of 1.5 centimeter strips and 1 centimeter strips from the 5mm foam board. This will be for support brackets for our walls. Now, as I said, 1.5 centimeters, not 2. I draw a line. Now I'm also using this model's base to draw an arch for the doorway, and also draw a line at the bottom that is 7mm in height. Now we're going to cut out the window on the right and also cut away the doorway. Now this we will also be using as a template. Just start to do this for all your wall panels. Now you will need 4 1.5 centimeter strips and 2 1 centimeter strips, and you will see why. This is just to add more 3D elements. Now use this as a template to create variations on your other walls, and also get some corrugated paper to add stone details later on. Now cut away the windows. This is the paper. Now cut a long strip that is 6.5 centimeters in height. We'll roll these up later to create the pillars attaching the wall panels. It will look really cool, trust me. Like so. As you can see here. Now we're gonna need a lot of different barbecue skewers, a thick one and some thin ones. We're also gonna mark this where we're gonna cut it, and just make as many as you need for the windows and the doorways. All right, now grab some thin barbecue skewers for the bars of the windows, and we're gonna glue these into place later on. First gluing these side panels like so, and it will look really cool once painted. Now I'm going to mark the length of all the window bars and also build a frame around the doorway, and when that is done I'm going to glue the 1.5 centimeter strips and 1 centimeter strips both front and back, and be sure to leave one side at the edge that is only 1.5 centimeter strip, because that's where we're going to attach the walls to the pillars and attach the walls to each other. But as you can see, I'm just adding details to this wall, and it should look like a little like this now. But feel free to detail these pieces just as you prefer, all right? But so far so cool. Now do this for all your walls and windows. Now next I'm going to wrap corrugated paper around a thick drinking straw with PVA, and this drinking straw is also cut to the 6.5 centimeters in height, as you see here. And as you can see, one of these walls has 1 strip less. Now we're gonna glue these all together, and do this for all your walls just to save time. Also glue in the pillar in between like so. Just use hot glue for this. Alright, looking cool so far. Nice. Now of course I'm going to continue to add more details on this. Clear away the wisps, because those will show up once we paint. Now next step is optional, but I cut barbecue skewers to match between the strips, and then to add more 3D elements like this. cutting them to size, and just go around the top of the windows to create a little frame. And I'm simply using PVA for this. And with these kind of builds, the more details the better, you know. It adds to the illusion, but basically it's just simple, cheap materials. Now let this all dry. Next, I cut corrugated paper to match at the top and the bottom of the window and the doors. And that will also be glued into place with PVA. And I know it looks a little weird now, but once it's painted, it really looks like a stone texture. So glue these into place. Mark these out first, cut them, and glue them. And I'm tracing a couple of these, just using PVA. And you can build, it's best that once you do this project, you just cut a whole bunch of them. Now I also cut a bunch of 1.5 centimeter square blocks, which I will glue on top of these strips here for more 3D elements. And in between those blocks that I just glued, I'm also going to cut long corrugated paper strips to add more stone pillar details. But yeah, really happy how this is turning out so far. And it's very easy to do, everybody can do this, alright? It's very simple. Now I also cut a stone slab roof piece and I textured it with the back of my box cutter. These stone slabs are 2 cm by 2 cm, and I twist in barbecue skewers for supports, and then simply cut coffee stirrers, scratch some details on them for the wooden floor, just like in those Warcry and terrain buildings you got from the starter set. This is basically also where this idea is based upon, using some clamps here. Now I also glued a ruined piece to the side wall, and then cut a thick drinking paper straw around the top and the bottom of the pillar to add even more details. And you can just use whatever you want to detail this. I mean, yeah, use your imagination. You can even use a thick barbecue skewer, as I did in those center parts. Also important to do the entire thing to prime it all black. But be sure, this is important, to use a foam safe spray or paint it by hand, because if you use a regular spray can, you will melt away the foam. And it will look like this now. I simply painted this by hand. Now once this is done, I'm going to use a gray primer, which I dust spray from above. And do this outside and wear a respirator. I have a shed outside, but still wearing a respirator when I do this. And as you can see, this all ties it together with the spray paint, and it even leaves some nice shadows underneath. And next I'm gonna dry brush everything with a white paint and then glaze everything with a light green. I paint the wood with a burnt umber and then let it all dry, of course. Looking cool. Really happy how these are turning out. Nice. Now I'm also going to do one final detail on the large ruin, but of course that is optional as well. And with a window I cut out, I'm going to use this to trace some brick texture and glue this on the blank wall panels. But again, this is optional, of course, because you don't have to do this. It's just some black and white that I printed, and I'm going to use a glue stick to attach it to these wall panels. See, like so. It adds a little bit more details and we are done. Well, I am done. You can add as much to this as you want. I mean, just use your imagination. These are really easy to make. You can make a whole bunch of them, especially if you speed build and do a lot of them at the same time. Alright, now as you can see, these look great on the battlefield. Matches well with the Stormcast Eternals. And it's the same size as the Warcry building, so yeah. Don't forget to like and subscribe, and thanks for watching everybody, and I hope you enjoyed the video, and more to come, alright? See you in the next video, guys. Bye for now. Bye.